Shall I start? We're good? We're good? Hi everyone. I'm Paul. I'm doing software development usually, but outside of work, my hobbies consist of producing music, and I use a lot of softwares to create music, but sometimes I kind of use Python also to use, and that's what I'm going to share today. How to use Python for live coding. But before that, does anyone know what live coding is? Live coding, that's a good venue to start with so that I can explain further what's live coding in music is like. So there are like various communities around the world that does these things. Some of them call it algorave, some is live coding with various languages. You can do it in Clojure, other languages as well, like Ruby. And I think back then we have a few libraries used for Python also. The one that you can see in the lower left, that's called Foxdot, but I think that one was not supported anymore from GitHub, although there's another one upcoming which is called Renardo or something, which I haven't explored yet, but it's using Python also to produce music. Basically, you have some sounds and instruments, and you, instead of notating the notes, you write your code to produce the notes. So basically, that's the gist of the idea. But maybe better explain it using a demo, and I only have 5 slides. Most of the things that I'll be sharing are demos, so I am praying to the demo gods to be kind with me today so that we can all enjoy the demos. So live coding, there are various platforms, or one of them is SonicPy. But SonicPy, I think, is using Ruby, but it's just a platform that you can write code. You just imagine this is a Ruby code, and then if I run it, I think it didn't work during the demo, but let me run the other code. So I wrote this code for a previous talk, but it's done in Ruby. So I have set the BPM, how the song is going to run, or the speed of the song, and then assign the various notes to it with the various parts, melody, drums, and so on. And then so that when I play it, you should hear something. So that the one that you can hear, that's the melody. So if I turn off the melody, I can do it from here as well. I can stop it, and then run again, and then the melody will stop. Yeah. And then you can do another part and so on. One of my friends, while I was giving this talk, they asked, hey, it's good that you can do it in Ruby to do the live coding stuff, but is it possible also to do in Python? So I was like exploring a bit at that time, and I found out the other DAW, or digital audio workstation, that I was using has built-in support for Python. So that means not only I can do my normal music with it, I can also use Python to script the notes and do the music production. So, and that software is called Bespoke. Let me just share a bit and then run this thing. So Bespoke is modular DAW, and it runs on various operating systems, Mac, Windows, and Linux, and it's also open source. That's one of the things that I like about it. And apart from the modularity, the things that it supports, other plugins or effects, it also supports for Python for your live coding. So live coding is a one module. Module is like that square that you can see in the slide. So there are various modules in the application, but one of them you can write a script on it, and then you can use that to control other modules or write your notes in that in that aspect. So later I'll be sharing how to use a script in Bespoke using Python to create the notes, create some chords if you play several notes together, or create a drum beat while you play your music, and control other parameters like maybe the filter or other like musical effects that that DJs or music producers are using. And as a bonus, I have another track that I can share to you, and we can deep dive on how it's being implemented. So let's share via code. So let's, I'll run fresh bespoke layout. So what you can see here, is it too small? Let me just adjust this a bit and then zoom in so that at least it's bigger. Yeah. So what you can see on the lower right side, that is meant for speakers, your output left and right, so that you can hear something. And then I'll just try to add instrument, car plus strong. You can just think of it as a synth that emulates the sound of a string. So when I'll just connect it to our speaker, and then if I put something into this, pass through this, it will produce a sound. So let's say I'll just add a keyboard, perhaps, keyboard display here, and then connect it to our synth or instrument. If I press play, hopefully it works. Is it audible at the back? Okay, so, but we're not going to play our instrument like this. We're going to use script to play our instrument. So I'll just have another module called script. And then this is the building block. So I'll share to you the building block. So hopefully, if you want to try it later, this might be this might look cumbersome with a long script and so on. But at least if once you get the basics, you can encapsulate it into your functions and then simplify it so that you can have less typing. Yeah. So let's start by playing one note. So I'll type me. Is the text too small, or is it okay at the back? Good. So I'll just type me, and then you can see there's a help, IntelliSense help play note, and then open parentheses. You can add the pitch. The pitch is a MIDI value. MIDI value, you can have like a corresponding note for that pitch. Let's say 60, but later on I'll transform it to notes that we can understand. So I'll just put 60 as the pitch. Velocity is like 0 to 127. 127 is the full volume. And then the length, there's already a default value for the length, but I guess 1 in every 4 beats. Then if I run this, it will play a note. Oh, it doesn't play. Why doesn't it play? Because it's not, is it connected? It's not connected. So I need to connect, sorry. So once I connect, let me run. So you can connect. But however, I tried to follow the approach in Sonic Pi where I add like a sleep so that I can have, let's say, 3 notes that play one after each other, and then I put sleep, but it doesn't work in this platform. So what they have in this platform, instead of doing sleep in between the notes, you have to schedule the notes. So you schedule it on the first position, schedule it on the second position, so that your notes will play one after the other. So let me comment this out. Let me show you the other way to play a note, which is scheduling the note being played. So schedule, there's also a help, so you don't have to memorize schedule note. And then here, the delay, like if it's 0 delay, it will be played instantly. And then if there's a delay, then it will play after a few seconds or after a while. Yeah. So pitch, I'll just put 60. And then the velocity, I'll just put 127 full volume. And then I'll just use the default length, I guess. So if I run this, yeah. And then what if I want to have like, I usually don't think in terms of 60, right? I usually think in terms of notes like C sharp, D, and the musical notes. So instead of using 60, we have this function called Bespoke that pitch, name to pitch, so that instead of writing the actual pitch, I'll just put C3, for example, which is closer to a musician's heart, the name of the note. Yeah. So instead of this, instead of 60, 60, by the way, is C3. So I'll just cut that. And then instead of 60, I'll just play that C3. So let's see if it runs. And then if we schedule one after the other, so this is position 0. So it's like if you have 4 beats, this is the first position. Actually, it's like not nice to see, right? Because it's more intuitive to think of it as 1 rather than 0. But yeah, we start at 0. So let's copy this. And then let's have 3 notes playing right after the other. So 1, and then second note, and then third note. Third note. So 1, 2, 3. It will be run from right from the other. And then let's see, use a different kind of note so that we can distinguish that it's a different note. C, E, G. Then we run. So it's scheduled right after the other. And then you might ask, okay, we can play 1 note each and then scheduled right after the other. What about if we want to play chords? Chords are several notes, maybe 3 notes played together at the same time. How do we do it? Does anyone have a guess how we can do it? So, yes?
Keep the same number.
Keep the same number, that's correct. So instead of having the same delay, we're going to use the same delay for the 3 values so that they can be played together. Yes, that's correct, sir. So instead here, I'll just put 3, 3. So what will happen is the first 3 notes will place individually one right after the other, and then the last one will be played together, so you have a chord. So if I run this, it will be a chord. So let me show you some examples that I did. So if you write this over and over again, it will be too much, right? So I created some functions to help me structure and sequence the stuff. So if I run this one, this one. It's a similar thing. So we can schedule the note. So I made a utility for chords, and then also a utility for notes. Don't worry, after this talk, I'll be uploading this in GitHub. Then you can inspect like the scripts and the note tools that you can use if you want to. Yeah. Now, for live coding music, usually we're playing with loops so that the same sequence can be played over and over again while you think on what you're going to do next. Like, shall I adjust the effects a bit? Shall I create another chord progression? Shall I create another section of the song? So while you're thinking on that next thing that you're about to do, there's a loop that is playing in the background that keeps on playing, so that at least the audience keeps entertained for that particular thing. And then once you're done with the new idea, then you switch the focus to the new idea and play the new idea, and then you think again for your next one. So it's like thinking on the spot. That's what we do in live coding music usually. So let me do how to do loops. So let's loop the chords first. So what you can see here, we have a thing called pulsar Pulser is, we have a method here called onPulse. What onPulse does is, this onPulse is going to be triggered whenever there's a signal from the pulser. The pulser, you can specify whether you want to pulse it every, so you have a count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Do you want your pulser to pulse every first beat? So pulse 2, 3, 4, pulse 2, 3, 4, or you want to pulse every beat, so pulse, 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 pulse. Then it's up to you. So let's say if I want to do the pulse let's say every note, every beat, so 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll just hit the quarter note or the fourth note. Then you can do the timing for each beat. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you want only for every start of the beat, you can just click the first note so that it will be played once every bar. So you can do this. 2. So with that kind of aspect, it allows you to do the looping already. But there's another way. This is like how they do it in Sonic Pi. But here in Bespoke, we have something better in such a way that it's, let me see if what I have in mind is good. Okay, it's okay. I'll share it in the next demo. Because here we can still hear the sound, but there's no visualization. But it's good if you have visualization somewhere, so I'll share it in a bit. So this is what you do if you want to do chords. Let's do some melody. So here, there's like the one that you heard a while ago in the Sonic Pi. We tried to simulate in Bespoke as well. So here are the notes. And the melody has two parts, part 1 and part 2. So there's a set for bar 1 and set for bar 2. And then here, we're just playing part 1 and part 2 right after each other. So if I do the pulser, you can hear the sound. But if we do this, it's better if we can see something, so at least we can see the notes, which notes are changing, which notes are changing every bar, and so on. So apart from the schedule part, Bespoke allows you also to script the visualization. So here, like most digital audio workstations, they usually work in a piano roll, so that you can like paint the notes and then produce the sequence of the notes, the music that you're playing. So here, what I'm going to do is, I'll just connect it to the melody, the canvas, and then I have the similar notes, but instead of scheduling, I'll have this canvas, and then add a note. So every bar, I'll just clear it because there are two parts. So first run, I play the first part, and then write to this canvas, and then this canvas will play the note. So even before the scripting, let's say I paint some note here, it will play it already. It's just that we want to be able to script the painting of the note so that it's automated in that way. So let's clear that, clear. But instead of us writing it down manually, let's have the pulser and the script do the magic. So this is the first part. And then you can notice the one below, that's the second part. And it loops from first part to second part. I guess this, compared to Sonic Pi, where you want to like visualize in mind, at least here, we can sort of visualize using the canvas, or in some other DAW systems, they call it the piano roll. Yeah. So we now have the melody, we had the chords. How does it look if we combine them together? So these are the notes and chords compound. So the top one is the melody. The one below is our chords. And this is quite a good loop already, but we're missing one thing. Can anyone guess what's missing? So usually for EDM, you need some percussions and the rhythm. So we need some drums. So let's add the drums, okay? Let's add that. How do we do drums? So drums is quite similar. We still control via MIDI notes. But here, we still have the pulsar, and then here instead of the carp plus strong for the strings, we use a drum player to play the different kind of percussion. So you have the kick, you have the clap, the snare, and then you trigger them based on your code. So here, we schedule the code, but this one is like we encapsulate it already with our methods. So here, I'll just trigger this. So you have the kick, but here we just hear it, but a while ago we want to be able to visualize, right? So visualization is very useful. So instead of doing the pulse here, we also have another way. We call this the drum sequencer. And then if I clear this, you can just see numbers on the left side, which corresponds to the notes being triggered. Notes being triggered is like you have this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That corresponds to the instruments here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if play 0, then it will play the kick drum. So let's so just to demo, I'll put a kick drum at the start, then you can hear it. But we don't want to do it manually. We can program using Python, and then run that script, and then it paints. And then if you want to have a separate instrument, let's say you want to adjust the kick. Instead of the kick, you want to have another part or instrument instead of the kick, you can do that as well. So instead of kick, I change it to number 1, so it elevates a bit to run another instrument. Let's make it back to the kick and then run again so that you can get the kick. Yeah. So now we have the drums. Let's see how it combines together with the rest. So this is a melody with the chords and the drums. So I have the chords, the melody, and the drums. And are we visualizing it? Yeah, we still visualize them. The chords and the drums. Yeah. So that's okay. But a while ago, we were also thinking about some controls, because in the actual EDM song, there's a part there. Anyone familiar with Avicii? Because this is from Avicii's Levels, that's the song. So there's a part there where you have like a sound called so something like that we want to emulate. So let's put that in practice. We have the octave shift. I call it octave shift because it shifts octave. So here, what we're doing is, let's remove the glide first, and then turn on the note. So this is the high pitch, and then it will go low, and then high. But we don't want to have low, high abruptly. We want to be able to slide. So there's some effect on sliding. And the way you do that is to do the glide. But let's say if you want to do it programmatically for some reason, the way you do that is you see the name of the module. You can name it any name you want. Portamento, octave riff, and then glide, and then the value. So you can access it in the script in the same way. Here you have the me set, portamento, octave riff, and then do the tilde thing, the glide, and then the value for that. If you set it at 400, it will slide. So if I run this, currently it doesn't slide, but if I run this, you can hear the slide, then up, and then down. Okay, so how does it sound together with the music? Let's add it to our main track. So here, the combined backing track. So here we don't have the octave riff because it occurs only on some parts. So while you're live coding music, you can decide whether to play one part, the other part, or some new part, or do the effects in certain parts of the song. So now, let's say we decide to do the octave shift in some parts. So here, this is our octave shift. So this one, we can do the octave shift here after a few bars. Now, and then listen for the octave shift. And then going down. Yeah, so that's mostly the thing, but any fans of EDM, sorry for my musical genre, but I guess if you have other musical genre with the basic thing that we discussed, I guess you can use that also to produce your other songs. So I have another track that is like a little bit more complicated than this, more spaghetti with the notes compared than this. But at least to give you a feel on let's say if you want to produce a full-blown track, how does it look, and what tools you can use or modules you can use so that you can DJ your music into a live setting. So the other day I was looking into any fans, or does anyone know Martin Garrix here? It's like dated, it's like 2013. So he has a song called Animals. It was released like 12 years ago, June 17. So that was sort of 12 years ago yesterday. So I tried to emulate it, and this is how it sounds. So here, I'll just start with the intro. Now, the intro, here you can see the song builder. The song builder is another module that you can use so that you can trigger which part of the song you want to trigger at that point in time. So you can choose an intro, a theme, a drop, or let's say a chorus, verse, and so on. So that when you play, you decide from the chorus you want to turn into the verse, you just click that part from your song builder. Now here, the song builder is connected to the clock that plays like our car plus strong. These are the notes, and then these are produced by similar thing, the one that we where's that clock thing. So we use our Python code also to generate this. And then if you want to have another part, let's add the drums. You can have another part of the section in the song builder to trigger that. Yeah, so the drums is a program also. You can see the drum sequencer here, all the hi-hat and then just the kick drum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say if you want to add a snare, you can have another script, and then you can run this script on runtime. Let's say if I run this, it will add the snare, and then you can modulate or add effects as you want. And And then some parts you can play nothing, or I'm waiting for the timing. And then that's the theme of the Martin Garrix animals. And then it usually has another instrument called the sub and the drums. And usually for EDM tracks, because it's like a dance song, right? Usually you want to have a build up. So some parts you want to add that build up thing. So I'm going to switch to that in a while. So that's the build up part. So this one is another pluck part. Yeah, but in the meantime, I'll show another method that you can use while playing the song. Is using the adjust some of the effects like filter effects. Let's play that. So here, I'm going to zoom into one part of one area of the stuff and then do some effects thing. So you can see here the filter. So the filter, if I do some adjustment, you can hear the sound. But this is manual. But if you want to do it programmatically, you can do also. So I'll just have a pulser so that I can at any time run the. So if you notice, it moves by itself depending on your algorithm. And then if you wish to end the song, you can just go back to your song builder and then do the ending. Yep, that's the wrap. So you can check out Bespoke further if you're interested. That's the link. Let me just zoom that out. You can download it from this link, and later on, the demos that I shared, I'll try to upload it in that GitHub link. And then I'll be here during the conference, so if you want to do some experiments, music experiments, and you have questions how to start or to trigger some beats or make it work, just feel free to let me know. We'll try to figure something out together. And with that said, thank you very much, but I'm open to questions if there are any as well. Yeah.